6 years ago, I moved back to Ghana, and I had a really soft landing living in a family house in a really nice part of Accra. But after months in country, I started noticing that open defecation was no longer just regulated to the beach area. It was throughout the city. It was in my neighborhood. Upon further investigation, I found that girls, like me, were not going to school because of menstruation, a common human function they have no control over. I found that municipal assemblies were spending north of $250,000 on cholera in one season. I found that the urban poor who chose not to rely on open defecation had to stand in long lines as early as 5:30 in the morning in order to pay someone to use a disgusting public toilet. I found that I had the right skill set, the right network of engineers, and passion to connect the dots to create a household toilet system that the poor can and will pay for. I founded Loo Works. The bad news is that I'm here to talk to you about poop. But the good news is talking about it is the first step to doing something about it. Here at Loo Works, we're doing something. And with your help, we can do even more. Now, don't get me wrong. If you come to visit us in Accra, you'll stay in a beautiful hotel in downtown, and you'll have the same kind of flush toilets you would have here in Boston. But if you go into our peri-urban neighborhoods, you'd encounter massive amounts of people who still do not have access to an in-home toilet. During this pandemic, the risk is far greater. The costs of this are enormous. Things like discomfort of walking by people openly defecating, but the real cost is cholera, diarrhea, and related diseases, which lead not only to large numbers of deaths, but for the capitalists in the room, I'll add that for every $1 spent on sanitation, you have $5 in medical expenses. But that, of course, doesn't take into account the human suffering aspect. So the payoff, if we can help people to have toilets, is enormous. Right now in Ghana, those who purchase a toilet from Loo Works or one of our competitors pay on average $1,000 to get a privacy structure. Ours, shown here, is imported from China. And a biological digester that eats away at the waste and does not need to be emptied. That is a good solution, and we've been happy to provide it. But we've realized that if we really want to make an impact, we have to manufacture in country. This provides jobs and saves on transportation costs and so forth. We have an additional advantage, though. We use our country's waste materials of sawdust and recycled plastic waste as our raw materials to make our new container systems. So we can sell at a huge discount to the $1,000 market price. That means, A, we can have a large and rapidly growing business because we're undercutting everyone in the market and we're making it available to people who cannot afford it at $1,000. Moreover, we can have substantial margins. It costs us about $300 to manufacture one of these units. Add in selling, distribution, and installation costs, and we're at $450 all in. We would sell between $600 to $650. As our volume grows and our manufacturing costs come down, we can reduce costs further. Again, the competition is at $1,000. So with a combination of A, stealing market share from the people who are charging so much more for the units, and B, just getting additional market from those people who couldn't afford to garner a toilet, we think is a game changer. We think there is immense growth potential. We have 1.21 million households in Ghana without toilets. The market leader, Biofill, has the capacity to handle less than 10% of our readily identified market. All the other competitors, including Loo Works, only make up 5%, leaving 85% of the market wide open. Locally manufacturing gives us lower cost, green products and flexibility to adjust to market needs. We have a longer lasting product than anything made of wood or steel. The model is simple. Selling household toilets, bringing the sales price down from $1,000 market average to $650. Along with myself, our sanitary engineer and CFO, we have a great set of advisors, and we're ready to take Loo Works to in-country manufacturing. We are raising a little over $500,000 to complete and operate an in-country manufacturing factory. If we can get funded here today, we would be bringing a $5 billion wood plastic composite industry to Ghana and changing its landscape forever. Please consider talking to me after this pitch.